Home improvement shows are definitely one of the most well-loved and successful niches in the reality TV industry. But these accomplishments haven't come out of nowhere. Before all the house-flipping series you know nowadays were even a reality, PBS's This Old House had already set the standard for the genre. Aired for the first time in 1979, This Old House is undoubtedly one of the legendary TV shows of its type, initiating a popular franchise and becoming the inspiration of uncountable series. Knowing this, it's not surprising that the This Old House cast has gained an important place in its audience's hearts, especially in the case of regular stars such as Roger Cook, whose health problems have worried viewers no end in recent times. So, whatever happened to Roger? Why does he limp in some episodes of This Old House? And is he still in the show anyway? Keep with us to discover all. If you watched recent seasons of This Old House, you've surely noticed that Roger Cook has a limp, which is pretty evident given a huge part of his job depends on his physical condition. While fans have refrained from asking too many questions about Roger's health, it was definitely taking such a toll on him that it hindered his appearances in the show. I haven't been myself over the last season. In fact, I've been dealing with several health issues that have made performing on television more difficult, he wrote in an official statement released in early 2020, making it clear that although his role in This Old House and spin-offs would be considerably reduced, he would appear in them from time to time. Though it's assumed that Roger's limp is a direct result of his health problems, the fact that his diagnosis has been kept a secret has given the green light to much speculation, including those which point out that he could have suffered a stroke, a heart attack, been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, or even that he has cancer. Of course, all of these assumptions are unproven, and most likely come from malicious sources, leaving us to only wish that Roger's condition isn't that serious, and that he's recovering well. Although Roger is no longer This Old House's main landscape contractor, that doesn't mean he's entirely retired from the field. As the owner of K&R Landscape, Roger is still involved with most of its projects, even those which are featured in the show. I'm not going anywhere. I'll still spend time with Kevin, Richard, Tommy, Norm, and the entire team, he wrote in an official statement following his exit from the show. Needless to say, Roger has been true to his word, and though he's rarely seen in the show, he often writes articles for This Old House's online blog and is involved with its production. Roger's online presence has also increased quite a lot since his supposed retirement from TV. As seen on his social media accounts, in 2021, he set up a blog on the Substack platform, which allows him to directly interact with his fans, answer their landscape-related questions, and to share his thoughts on the industry after over 3 decades of experience. This is great news for his fans, who really appreciate that he's steadily become more active on Instagram and Twitter in the last couple of years. So, all in all, we're happy to see that Roger hasn't disappeared from public life at all. Though we all will miss seeing Roger Cook in the show, the truth is that he left his job in good hands. As it happens, Jen Nawada is now the newest This Old House's landscape contractor, which was really the right choice, considering the time she's been working with Roger and the show. Her debut on TV dates back to 2010, when she appeared as the designer for K&R Landscape in This Old House. However, she had been working in the field since 2001, when she graduated from Rollins College with a Bachelor of Arts in Environmental Studies and established her company, Nevada Landscape Design Incorporated, specializing in residential landscapes which are modern, environmentally conscious, but sophisticated enough to catch people's attention. Knowing how talented Jen is, it's no surprise that This Old House wanted her on TV. Although for several years, Jen rarely appeared in the show, the 40th season saw her becoming a regular presence, and in spin-offs such as Trade School. Her hard work, the good audience reception, and Roger's approval of her efforts is what definitely made her the right choice to take his place in the show. Who is Roger Cook? So, who is Roger Cook? With over 35 years in the industry, it's unsurprising to know that Roger's beginnings as a landscaper date to very early in his life. A native of Boston, Massachusetts, Roger's interest in environmental issues grew to the point when he moved to attend the University of Maine, from which he graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Wildlife Management and Conservation Law in 1977. Right afterwards, Roger was hired for a summer job, which apparently wasn't well received by his wife Kathleen, as he told My Fix-It-Up Life in 2013. My wife informed me I would find a job, a real job, right away. Said, okay, and I ended up working for a landscape company. Cutting ivies off Harvard's campus wasn't Roger's ideal of what he wanted to do in life, but it soon improved when he was transferred to the company's construction team, which was a surprisingly good change. For 5 years, I was a happy camper. I love what I did, he affirmed. Roger's employer, Frost & Higgins Company, was hired by This Old House to lead their projects, allowing him to do some networking with people from TV, without even appearing in the show. Although Roger Cook was in a good place with his first employer, he eventually leveled up by establishing his own business with his wife Kathleen in 1982, K&R Landscapes. Nonetheless, having 5 years of experience building landscapes didn't mean Roger's co-owned business was immediately successful. As he told My Fix-It Up Life in 2013, K&R Landscapes started from the bottom, with only a couple of little 21-inch mowers, which Roger transported on his truck to his customers' houses. I think they just felt sorry for me at the time, cutting the lawns, but it was kind of crazy. The much-needed help to take his business to the next level came from an unexpected place, though. 5 years after establishing K&R Landscapes, Roger was contacted by Tom Worth, who had previously worked with his former employer for This Old House. He was the landscape architect on the original shows we did, saying, "Do you want to work with This Old House again?" as Roger affirmed. The next day, he was back on the show's stage to work in the Lexington bed and breakfast renovation, marking the start of a long and successful career, both in the building industry and on TV. Unfortunately, Roger is now a widower. At 56 years of age, Roger's wife of 31 years, Kathleen Ellen Gold Cook, died on the 1st of December 2010 in Boston, after battling cancer for several years. Kathleen and Roger actually met in the 1970s while attending college. Also a native of Massachusetts, Kathleen was a graduate of sociology from Merrimack College, marrying Roger in 1979. Though she worked for her father's insurance company, she eventually founded Gold Cook Insurance Company on her own. She and Roger eventually moved to Burlington, where they established a long-term home, and in addition welcomed 2 children, Jason and Molly. Though Kathleen was rarely seen by the audience of This Old House, she actually co-founded K&R Landscapes with Roger in 1982. However, her support for his projects went far beyond the business aspect, as Kathleen was extremely proud of her family's accomplishments, in addition to treating her company's customers with warmth, respect, and kindness. Although it's unknown who exactly manages Kathleen's business now, Gold Cook Insurance Company is still active nowadays. While it's been over a decade since Kathleen unfortunately passed away, it seems that Roger hasn't found another romantic partner, but spends a lot of precious time with children and grandchildren, as seen on his Instagram account. You have seen Roger Cook in action for many years while working on This Old House's projects, but what exactly is his business about when cameras aren't around? As the company's name says, K&R Landscapes build beautiful front yards for those homeowners who are bored with their house's appearance. The business focuses on projects which could be managed by a small team, making sure that all the process of designing, excavating, building, planting, and cleaning is done by familiar faces all along. However, the work that K&R Landscapes does definitely goes far beyond just making cute flowers grow in the customers' gardens. As seen on the website, there's a wide array of services they're contracted for, starting with their customized stonework, which includes building gorgeous-looking stairways, sideways, fire pits, and so much more in patios, terraces, and front yards. When it comes to the landscaping work, their outstanding service includes relocating trees, designing gardens, and building water features from fountains to artificial ponds. K&R Landscapes also offers their customers valuable information resources about gardening and construction to their online blog, in addition to selling clothing merchandise for those who deeply love their company. This Old House has definitely become a legend in the reality TV genre. Not only has it aired for over 1,000 episodes during its 4 decades on air, but has also won many well-deserved awards along the way, including several Daytime Emmys in the categories of Outstanding Lifestyle Program and Outstanding Directing. The truth is that everyone involved with This Old House does an amazing job to keep the show afloat, while not lowering the quality of the renovations. However, many people wonder what it is about the show which makes it so enthralling, so that it continues to attract such a huge audience after so many seasons. While there's surely no infallible way of making television, Roger Cook actually explained what the key to success behind This Old House is. The guys you see on the show are real. On any given day, they're doing what you see them doing on TV, only without the cameras rolling, he asserted during a question and answer session on the show's website. in which he affirmed it's mandatory for the designers, builder, and workers to keep up to date with the newest techniques and tools, due to how uncannily necessary TV consider it. All in all, it seems that the strategy behind this old house isn't really a complicated one, consisting only of sticking to their essence, without involving drama or unnecessary details. The mention of this old house inevitably leads to talk about its popular and successful spin-off series. The first of these was Ask This Old House, which premiered in 2002 and focused on renovating barns in rural New England areas. The show included almost the entirety of This Old House cast, though following the retirement of Roger Cook in 2020, Jen Nowata also replaced him in the show. In 2003, the second TV spin-off from the series, Inside This Old House, premiered on A&E. Though the show was short-lived, airing for just 2 years, it offered a closer and more personal view into the staff's work, by focusing only in one area, instead of a whole house. The latest spin-off is Trade School, which premiered in 2017. Although it features the original This Old House experts, this new show is centered around teaching and instructing the audience on the techniques used during the renovations. It's also worth noting that This Old House released its homonymous and unsurprisingly successful first magazine in 1995. Nowadays, over 1 million issues of the magazine have been released so far, more recently incorporating a well-resourced website which makes the necessary information about construction, building, and landscaping available to everyone. All in all, it doesn't seem that This Old House's reign on TV is ending anytime soon, and that's good news for all of us.
Thank you for spending some time with us. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpick these videos which we recommend you watch next. You can talk to us on all social medias or ask a question in the comments below. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you back tomorrow.